Alex from Layoffs Consulting. I hope you guys are doing well. Before we get into it, let's talk a little bit about housekeeping. If this kind of practical, real-world HR guidance is your jam, please make sure that you follow and that you like the video. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, especially if you've dealt with what we're about to discuss today, which is AI and automation. Let's get into it. So AI and automation can definitely help support human work, right? It can help us draft, analyze, organize, research. I even used AI myself in creating Layoffs Consulting as a business. It helped me move a little bit faster. It helped me think through some structure and ideas. But I also knew enough about HR to be able to catch mistakes because AI definitely makes mistakes. So if I didn't already have that real world experience, I wouldn't have known when it was leading me astray. And that's the part that people need to really understand. It's a tool. It's not a professional. It cannot replace human relationships, human judgment, or human accountability. And when we're talking about jobs and workforce, that distinction definitely matters. We need to be honest about this workspace, this job market that AI is entering. About 20% of Americans over the age of 65 are still working because they can't afford to retire yet. And then we've got the mid-career professionals. They're facing cost pressure, and in some cases, they're being replaced with lower cost labor or contract roles. And young workers are entering a workforce with fewer entry-level opportunities than previous generations before. So it's not just about technology replacing jobs. It's about more people competing for fewer stable roles all at the same time. A healthy economy needs entry points for young workers, stability for mid-career workers, and dignity for older workers. And if there's too many pathways of those things are coming in together and they're all shrinking at once, the entire workforce is definitely going to feel it. And there's a real possibility that these younger generations and the ones after are going to face fewer stable opportunities than the ones before them. Not because they're not capable, but because of the structure of the work and because of the structure of our job market. And that should definitely get our attention. So let's ground this conversation in what's happening right now. As of January 2026, we saw over 108,000 jobs being laid off, the highest January layoff total since the Great Recession. Companies like UPS are cutting around 30,000 jobs. Amazon has eliminated almost 16,000 corporate jobs, all as part of restructuring or eliminating and being more efficient. And across the tech sector, tens of thousands of jobs have already been cut this year, with dozens of companies reducing staff that are also investing highly and heavily in automation and in AI. More than 100 major US companies are expected to continue with layoffs through 2026 as they restructure for cost reduction and tech integration. So when we're talking about AI, automation, and the future of work, it's not theoretical. It's happening right now in real life in an already competitive job market. We're not seeing millions of jobs disappear overnight, but we're definitely seeing a steady, slow erosion of it. Fewer entry-level jobs, as I mentioned, more automation, more pressure to do more with fewer people. Roughly 10 million US jobs are projected to be eliminated or significantly reduced by 2030 due to AI and automation. And over 30% of the workforce and workers are already in roles that are highly exposed to AI-driven tasks. So we're definitely in the early stages of structural shift, not a temporary one. There's another piece of this AI conversation that rarely gets mentioned, and that's the environmental cost that AI is impacting. Data centers already use about 4 to 5% of all electricity in the United States, and that number is expected to rise as quickly as AI starts expanding. Some projections suggest that it could even reach up to 12% of US electricity within a few years. So they use lots and large amounts of water for cooling and sometimes millions of gallons per day per facility. So when we're talking about AI growth, we're not just talking about software. We're talking about energy demand, water use, land use, and local infrastructure. The digital world may feel invisible, but the environmental footprint is definitely very physical. I'm not anti-AI. I use it, as I said, I help build Lowly Root Consulting with it. But I'm definitely using it less and less with my goal to completely eliminate it once I get everything set up for Lowly Root Consulting. But most businesses will continue to use AI. But using technology to support work is one thing. And it's very different from using it to replace work wherever possible without thinking about the long-term impact that it's going to have. You can't automate trust. You can't automate fairness. You can't automate accountability. And you can't automate real workplace culture. Once those things erode, it's going to be really, really hard to get that trust back. So the question becomes, what can we actually do about it? Not at a policy level, not at a corporate level, but what can we do in our everyday lives to help? And what I've seen and when I was researching this is we can make little small choices that are going to matter than most people think. So use human checkouts when you can. Support businesses that still employ people. Ask for human customer service. Ask questions when automation is introduced at work. Teach young ones that skills that tech can't replace, right? Communication, judgment, accountability, leadership, those kinds of things. And this is, obviously going to go work past the workplace. When we're talking about AI generated music or writing or art or visuals or images, video, design, that's all expanding quickly. And many working artists and creators are already feeling that impact. Designers, illustrators, photographers, musicians, editors, writers, these are all real human professions and real livelihoods that it's impacting. So support real artists and creators when you can. Buy their work, credit their work, share their music, share their work, pay for music, art, writing, and design that is actually created by actual people. If we want a world created by humans, we have to keep supporting human creators. None of this is actually none of this is meant to cause panic, right? Just for you to be aware is enough, I think, because businesses respond to behavior, not our opinions. We can fight with our money or our lack of withholding money, right? So AI isn't entering a wide open, stable job market. It's entering one that's already competitive and it's already strained. The goal isn't to stop progress. It's to make sure that we don't remove so many human roles so quickly that we destabilize the very workforce and communities that our economy depends on. Tech should support people. It should definitely not replace them. So thank you for watching the video and supporting Lowly Root Consulting. I'll see you in the next one.